So I'm recording it now. Basically, I will start from the beginning, okay? What I did is I downloaded this. I clicked here. It went to my downloads. This is the file it download. I do right click and I extract the file. Extract the file, it's opening those files into this directory. I do okay. And then I should have a Gamestore directory on the top. Okay, I should have a Gamestore on the top. Go up all the way. Okay, Gamestore. Gamestore, let me see if I can find it. Anybody see Gamestore? Yeah, here it is. So this is a directory. We need to copy, but there's a lot of things that are not exactly the way we would like them to be. So there's many ways you can just copy it as it is, or go step by step according to the book, okay? Let me copy it, and then we deal with it as we go along. So I'm going to do copy, and I go to here to trades. And this is the real life. You know, I already have done it before. I'm keeping it here, but I put underscore, so this is not working. But this is the way it's supposed to end up. But let's just go here and put the one we just copied, okay? Okay, we have a directory. We should have a directory, Gamestore, new application. There's other files here. We'll take a look at them in a minute, and we'll see what to do. Two things we need to do is to integrate it into the setting. But before we start, what I strongly recommend, okay, download the chapter in the book. Okay, there is chapter 7 in this book. So I'm going to download this one. I have the book. I'll click on it. The book open, and I need to go to chapter 7. By the way, the good thing is, you see, this is really a professional level. Okay, it's a professional level. That's what I said in the beginning of the course. This course is like 3 courses, really. You know, if you go to the university, you spend 3 courses to get to this level. And the good thing is to be able to understand chapter in a real professional book. So if we look at chapter 7, I talked about it a little bit at the beginning. It's really less relevant for us, okay? We don't need to do all of that. We're not using Node. We're using something better than Node. We're using Python. It's much better. And in fact, we're using a better database. SQLite is really not professional. It's only for development. We're using the real stuff. Postgres is a real professional database that we use, okay? And then we said, log in, log out. I already have provided you. You don't need to spend the time on that or create a user. Up to 312, all of that we already have. As you install the program, you already have that one, okay? I hope that everybody with me understand. It really is, what we use is really is a very professional framework. We use a real serious database called Postgres. We use Python on the server. Many use like just JavaScript only. JavaScript is very good, but it's not designed for a server. We use Python. On the client, we use JavaScript, but you are mostly for machine learning. We dedicate JavaScript for certificate too. But on the server, I don't recommend to use JavaScript, use Python. And Python is the right language for that. So what I'm going to do is Now go back, look at the book, and read a little bit the book, okay? He's explaining what this is all about. It's about really doing like a shopping cart. You're really designing a shopping cart, okay? And you need to do the, you know, you have a gaming platform, you put games in there, and you know, you have a page to highlight the games. All of that, please do read it. It's really part of your exercise. The administrator of stores should be able to change product detail so you can put some product in the internet and people can shop in that, okay? One thing that you already see, this is like a model. The model has a data, a table called game platform forms. So what I recommend to do is go into, you know, the one that we looked at before even connecting it, before I connect it. It's not connected yet. We need to connect it to the thread. We will, okay? But in the model, if you look at the model, here we go. This is the first database. This is exactly like in the book. So the code you downloaded, it already has all of that, okay? And look at it, some stuff. And then here he's explaining. We arrive to the method string. What is this method? Okay, I didn't really explain. And it tells you here, these methods will dictate how the instance of game platform will be displayed when being printed out. That's pretty interesting, okay? And we'll see, explore it. Your job is to explore it, okay? This is what it means when I want to see that instance, you know, a table after all. This one is a table. This table will have one column called name and one column for the primary key called ID. So when I want to see this every game, I want to see the name of the game. That's what that function does. I will illustrate it later on, okay? This one I didn't teach you. So let's hold it on that a second, okay? Let's hold on that a second. Then we have another table called game, okay? The game has class called meta. I didn't teach you this one either. But I can tell you right now is what this one does when I have a lot of games, it's like your product, okay? You have a lot of games. You have, so you want to organize them one after the other one according to highlighted and name. Highlight, when you put a minus, that means it goes from the higher one to the lower one. You know, it's like if I have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 10, it will organize them from 10, 9, 8, 7, etc. And then by the name. They like to put a lot of space. I usually don't like, I usually like it this way. We have a name. We have on which year this game was done. Who developed the name of, who developed the game. So this is a table going to hold up games, okay? And then we have an image. This is something we have studied. If you remember, we have studied that one. This is like having a field for the pictures. And here we're going to upload it to the Gamestore. This one is going to go into the media. If you recall, we have a media, and we should have a directory here. He automatically will make a directory called Gamestore, and it will put all the games. But there is another one. This one, it says placeholder PNG. See that? Okay, we need to fill it up. So then we will see, we'll get there and then we'll see. In fact, they might have put it here many times. They put it in here, but no, I don't see it here. We will have to put a picture like that. We'll see in a minute, okay? We'll see in a minute. But this one is to upload pictures, okay? Then we have a foreign key. Please see that. game platform has a foreign key going to this game platform. That means every game belongs to a group of games. So you can think about the game platform, it's like groups. You have groups, and those groups you belong. So if I want to make a picture, you have the game platform and you have the game, okay? So the game is connected with the foreign key. With the foreign key, it is connected to this table. So game platform, let me go back to that one. When we look at that, here is the table game platform. And here we have a game, a second table. And this one has a foreign key, okay? The foreign key from the to the game platform. So here I can have several platforms, like say children, adult, woman, man. That will be different category, and each category we might have several games. The name of the game, which year it was released, who developed the game, who published it, is there a picture for the game, etc., etc. And then we have is it a highlighted or not? It's called a Boolean. Boolean, it means yes, no, or 1, 0. 1, it's yes, 0, it's no. It's a special, this is really takes little memory. So it takes only 0 or 1, or true or false, okay? And then we have a manager. This is very important. We didn't study that. I intentionally didn't teach you, but this is linked to this one. And I will talk about that later on, okay? It's really just help your life, make your life much easier in filtering data and a lot of those kind of things. I use it a lot in Academy City. When I develop Academy City, I use the manager a lot, okay? I will show you later on as we go get along examples. I use it in Academy City. But for here, let's say I want to get all the games, okay? If I want to get all the games that are highlighted. Highlighted, I can have two groups. One that they are really games that everybody wants to buy, and games that people want less to buy. So I made here really, it's like a filter. It's like I have a manager, it's a class, but I can write functions. One is get highlighted. You will filter only the ones that are highlighted. This one will filter only the ones that are not highlighted, okay? And this one is get by platform. This one gives me really by specific platform. So for a specific category, that's a kids, give me only the games of the children. Don't give me all of them, but I will get to that later on. I didn't really spend too much time in this course on this one because I really can't finish everything, but I also wanted you to read a little bit by yourself as well. But this is a very important feature. This is called manager. You see, it's inheriting from model manager. I make a special manager. And then after I have the manager, it works with this table. How does it work with this table? Simply, I write objects equal to the name of the manager. Now, those features, those functions work automatically on those tables. That's the beautiful of Python. As I mentioned before, you don't really have something equivalent in JavaScript. If you use JavaScript for the server side, you don't have these kind of things. And this is really a beautiful thing in Python and how Django, so already just Python is Django using Python to make manipulating the data very nicely. And in machine learning, it's extremely important. And next semester, I will talk and give a lot of examples how you use it in machine learning. Okay, so these are really important. I usually don't like to leave spaces like that, like you did here. Usually like it like that, but that's fine. By the way, this is very similar. See, there's a function called string. If I want to see, you know, if I just call a game, how does it go? How is it going to show it to me? It's going to show me is linked, see, is linked by the foreign key to the platform. So you take the name of the platform and it will take the name of the game. Self refer to the game, and game also has a name. You see, there's a name here and there is a name here. So what I want is go to my platform. This is really referring to this one, and take the name, meaning since I have a foreign key going to this one, take the name from here. So it will give me the platform name and the name of this game. But we will see, it's not very, if you see it's first time, you might not really understand it right away. It's not that simple. And then we have another table. It's a price list. What does it mean, a price list? This is what is the price of the game. For how much? By the way, this one also we can really, you don't really have, I usually like it this way, okay? I have enough space so I can make it. It says, okay, the price, by the way, look at that. Let me, first of all, let me show one thing that it's very, very important. And even this one I will do differently slightly. I will shrink what it says here. They really refer to the same things. Some people like it this way or another. If I can, I put it on one row, okay? This is not a really foreign key, but it's one-to-one field, and it's going to the game. What does it mean, one-to-one? For every row in the game table, I will have one row in the price list. This is like extension of this table. By the way, you could have made really only one table. You don't really need two tables. I most likely in real life, I wouldn't make two tables. I would make only one table, okay? I don't know why they make it as two tables. One table would be enough, especially in this kind. Usually you do this trick of one-to-one from this table to this table when you already have a table that somebody else gave you. But when you design by yourself, you usually don't do it. I use one-to-one, by the way, in Academy City as well, for the user and user profile. But that's because Django already defined the user. Here, I don't really know why they made it as two tables, but it doesn't make much difference. One-to-one is usually means every row in this table will have one row in this table. They probably wanted to demonstrate signaling. We get there too. By the way, price list also has a string, meaning when I look at the row, I will see the name of the game and see how it does it. It really shows you the name of the game that I have the price for. So this is the price per unit. This is, by the way, this one is also very special. It's a field for date and time. And this one, we make it automatic. So when we put a row, it automatically put the date. I don't have to worry about it. If I change the date, or I change the name, or I do some change, it put the last day I made the change. I give an example. Let's say we made a game, a Star Wars game on the computer. That will be, the name will be Star Wars. I put the name in this table, will be Star Wars. We'll see the year it was released, who developed it, who published, we put a picture, its link. Star Wars is for children. So the platform will be, the name will be kids. And then what the price? I put the price, let's say $100, just making it up, $100. This one, these two, I don't need to fill it up. They will fill up automatically. Why? It says auto. You put the date automatically. It's automatic. But what's the difference between those two? This one it's the date in which I put the price. Okay, let's say a month later, the price changed. I increase the price to 105. I change the price to 105. This one will be a different date. You'll put the date on which I change the price. Okay? Questions? I think it's, let's see now, let me make this picture. I make it in Excel, will be easier. I don't want to go to the other one. Which kind of tables do we have? We have, first of all, a table, by the way, this table called Game Platform. How many columns do we have? Can anybody help me? Draman, I would love to hear some people participating. The first table is Game Platform, is that right? How many columns do we have? Look at it. How many columns we have in this table? How many columns? I can't hear anybody. Anybody? How many columns? How many columns do I have in the first table? This is not a column. This is not a column. I only defined one column. A name we have. We know we have a name. I claim there is more than one table. One column is a name. What other column do I have? I claim there is two columns. You should know by now the name of the second column. Okay? What is the second column? It's automatically done. If you remember, it's the primary key. If I don't define a primary key, I automatically make a column to the table called ID. So I will have two columns in this table. The primary key is the ID. That's something we have learned before, okay? And this is a good review. For now, let's ignore that for a second. Let's ignore that. Yeah. Let's go to this one. Let's go to this one. Okay, let's go to this one. I ignore this one. I ignore this one. I will come back to that. How many columns do we have in this table? Okay, how many we have? Let's make it in Excel. Okay, let's make it in Excel. We have a table called Game. Okay, Game.
Release here, developer.
How many tables do we have? How many columns? Anybody can tell me what the name of the first column?
Name of a game.
What's the name? Yeah, I'm looking at this table. See, it's inherited from model. The game, okay, which column does it have? This is not a column, just tell me how it's ordering. By the way, this is not in the database. This is only in Python. So the definition starts from here up to here. It's where we define, you know what, to make your life easier, let me make your life easier. I will make it looks like one row. Okay, this is the way I usually like. We copy that from the book. Copy that from the book.
Le développeur du jeu.
How many columns we have here?
5.
Let's see a second. How many you say? 5? Okay, you can, this is easier to read. Okay, this is not a column. This is not a column. This one refer to the manager. We talk about manager in a minute. We talk later about the manager. For now, so this one we know it's the way it's present the object. We talk about it. I will explain this one later on more. But for now, so this one is for the ordering. Let's ignore this one a second. So where is my definitions of columns. It's here. Is that right? How many do I have here? I have the name.
Name, release, developer, published by,
Image, game platform, and I have highlighted. How many I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I claim there are 8, not 7. Why? The ID, very good, very good. Excellent. So let's write them. Okay, we have an ID, we have name, we have release, here, and then we have developer. Is that right? We have published by, and then I have image, I have game platform, and highlighted, and published by, image, write it. Sorry. Okay, and we have highlighted. And here I have highlighted. Okay. So this is the table, is that right? This is the second table. This is the second table. Okay, this is the second table. I can make it smaller here. Okay, name, I can make it a little smaller. Make it slightly bigger. Publish. Image. Okay. Platform. Okay. And I have the highlighted. Okay. All of that is the second table. It's another table that we have. How many columns we have in price list? Added at, price, and game. Is that right? How many columns we have? 4 or 5? 5. Very good. Very good. 5. We do have 5. So let's go move to the right. We'll make another table. And we call it price list. Okay. And then we have added. Add. Okay. That's the first column. Last added. Then we have price, price, pair, unit. Now we have a game. Okay. Okay, we have 4. We have, in fact, I missed one. I should have added one more. I should have ID. And those are the columns of this table. Now, what's the relationship? What's the relationship between the tables? Okay. For every game platform, see, let's say here I have kids. We will do that in a minute. Let's say I have kids. I have a dance. Okay. Let's say I have woman. I have men. Okay. And this is the platform. Okay, sorry, this should be ready. Copy. It should be ready here. Okay. This should be 1, 2, 3, 4. That will be filled up automatically. Yeah. Then if you look, we have a column, say game platform. So if I have a game for children, let's say a Star Wars. It's a game for children. Then this one will have number 1 here, but it belongs to the platform. It's also number 1. Okay, because we have a connections between this column to this column. How do we know we have a connections? It's right in here. It's right in here. If you look at here, we have game platform, and when we define the game, we have a foreign key going to the game platform. It goes from here, meaning from this column going to the primary key of this one. That means we have a link between this column and this column. Okay? Let's make just another, I don't know, another game, I don't know, whatever. Like a game for women. Okay? A game number 2, it belongs to women game. So it will be number 3. Why number 3 here? Because women number 3. That's a fashion. I don't know what game. I'm really not familiar with fashion. Okay? And then I can fill up, I can put a picture of the game, who published, who developed it, all of it. Let's say this was 2005, this was 2017, all of the data I put in the tables. The beautiful things, this is not just explaining in Excel, but the truth of the matter, those tables will be done in the Postgres, in the database, and we'll see in a minute, okay? You need to understand that once, okay? So we have this one, we have the game, and then we have also price list, okay? Let's look at a price list. What do we have in a price list? Price list, okay? How many columns we have? We have 5, we said 5. We have ID, and then we have a foreign key, and we have 1-to-1. What does it mean 1-to-1? That means for every row here, we'll have 1 row only in the game and vice versa. That means if I ask you in the exam, okay, this is connected to this. This is connected to this. So here will be number 1. It's connected to this number 1. Number 2 here, connected to this number 2 because they have a relationship 1-to-1. But by the way, okay, so this is really what it means 1-to-1. Okay, let's go again. When I have in the price list, okay, the primary key will be connected 1-to-1. If I ask in the exam, if I have here 1,000 rows, here will be only 1,000 rows, exactly the same number as here. Exactly the same number, because it's 1-to-1. And here I can put, the date. This one automatically will fill. I can put here price per unit. Let's say this one costs $90. This costs $150. I'm just making it up, etc., etc. So this is about the games. This is the pricing of the game. And we have a connections. We have, in fact, the truth of the matter, this is really what would be 1, 2. This is connected to this one. Okay, so this one will be connected to this one. Okay, because it will have also a primary key. It will be most likely the same number, but this column is connected to the primary key here. So if we look at it in Excel, sorry about it, this is a column connected to this one. We'll see it in a minute, okay? We'll see it in a minute. But for now, we want to understand how the tables are linked to each other. Questions, guys? No? Any questions?
Okay.
See, there's more tables. There's shopping cart. If you see, I'll make it like this. I usually like to shrink it. So it'll be easier for me. Okay? It doesn't make really the difference. Shopping cart. See, shopping cart. These is our 5 tables. We have managers also. We'll see what they do. But basically, when we look at the game, we have a game platform. This one really, we have a link between this one to this one. Okay, there's a link. How do I know there is a link? Because in here, we define a foreign key for the game. We have a foreign key. Please pay attention, this is a foreign key. Goes to this table, game platform. Game platform. It really means that there is a link between this primary key to this column. In addition, we define price list 1-to-1. That means there is a link, okay, between this one okay, to this one, all the way to here. But this is 1-to-1. That means that every row here has to have a row here. It will have, if this one has 1,000 row, this one have 1,000 row. It's 1-to-1. Also, we define more tables. We define more tables. We define a price list. We talked about price list. This is the manager. I will deal with it in a second. And there is a shopping cart. Shopping cart has a user, and this is for a manager. So it has only user, but the truth of the matter, shopping cart will have 2 columns, as we know. We'll have the user, or have an ID. By the way, there is in Django already a table called user, but it's defined in a different place, okay? Django already have made a table called user. That's why we use this one. This is referring to a table of the users. Everybody in the system have a row in a special table. And this is the way we approach that table. Auth user model. It's a place in which you put the users. You don't really need to know much about it, besides just knowing that's the way I connect this one to a table called user. So if I really want to say it here, we really do have like another table of users done by Django, okay? This is the table of users done by Django, and we don't really have to worry about it. Besides knowing it exists, and we will have a link, between here to here. This table we don't need to define, it's already defined in another place in Django. And the way I connect between this one to this one, by the way, this is one to many. If you look at it here, okay, if you look at here, I have a foreign key, meaning one person can have several shopping carts. Makes sense I can go to Amazon, I can buy several times, and in Amazon I can buy today a computer or whatever, and tomorrow I can buy a mouse, I buy a binocular or whatever. Okay, now, okay, so this is the shopping cart. It's connecting to existing table in Django. That's beautiful. It's very useful. Then we have a shopping cart item, okay? And this is a manager. Sorry, this is a manager. As I said, I will talk about manager in a minute. But the last table, it's this one, shopping cart item. And we have 5 columns. This is really the last table right here, okay? Shopping cart item. And we have a connections between the shopping cart. We have a connections. Let me make it a little wider. We have between this one and this one. And this is the connections. So it really means for a shopping cart, for a specific shopping cart, I can have several items. I can have several items. I can buy, as I said, computer, mouse, whatever, in one shopping cart. And we'll see it as it works. Who is the user? That's why we have a table in Django. This is a table that Django made in a different application. We can use it, okay? When we log in, it's identify us, okay? And for that user, you automatically make the shopping cart, and we'll see it as we go along. So this is really the structure. This is the structure of the database of this test. Okay, let me save it for you. And I will upload it later on. Okay, I will upload it later on. So I will call it Gamestore. Models. Okay, and I will upload it later on. Draman, any questions? I think this is very important because this is the basic of the whole application. Without it, it will be very hard to follow later on. Any questions, guys? You know, think about it, you know, here we're managing our inventory. I have categories of games. This is the name of the games, and this is the price of the games. This one, when some user come and buy, I make him an invoice. And what do I put in the invoice? All the items that he buys. That's really what it is, very simple. Now, if you see something I didn't teach you, because you can't really study everything, and there's so much more, there's something called manager. Manager is a very special object, class, that help to manage this table, okay? As we get into examples, I will show it. Here I just tried to tell you, you know, when I have a game and I want only the games that are highlighted, okay, I can filter it. So by the way, we have a column called highlighted. Highlight could be 1 or 0. You see, it's Boolean. Boolean means 1 or 0, true, false. So I would have a lot of games in the table. And I don't want to see all of them. I want to see only the one that are highlighted. So we're going to use this function, get highlighted. You will know how to do it because it's filter, use filter on this game. This is why when we take the game manager, we make objects to be the game manager. The objects, okay, it's a special things in the model. And now I will have all those three functions. If I say objects dot get highlighted, it will give me only games that are highlighted. If I make game dot objects dot get not highlighted, it will give me the ones that are not highlighted. Now, why do you make highlighter or not? It's maybe all the highlights that are promotion, or you want to make them to be the first in the page. And we will see later on, by the way. Second, we might want to see games by the platform. Remember, we have a foreign key here going to the game platform. So we might want to get all the ones that the game from the name is really the same as platform. I would tell him, give me kids. Okay, it will bring me only the kids. And we'll see examples of that. So manager, the objective of the manager is to give me only rows that I'm interested in. This is the main use of manager. Okay, we have also a manager for this one, by the way, for the shopping cart. You see, we have a shopping cart, and we have also a manager. This one, get by item by ID. This can give me, by the way, on specific transaction. But I will talk. Give me all the invoices of a specific user. Okay, give me a specific card. We'll see. We'll get into that. I will specify, and I talk about it more as we're going on. I did not teach you this one. I expect you to go into the internet, read about it. I will explain a little bit, and that's really what you are being tested. Can you study a little bit by yourself, or you cannot study by yourself? You should be able to study by yourself, because otherwise, it's almost impossible to otherwise. You won't be able. For machine learning people, one of the skills you must have is ability to study by yourself. And it makes you very valuable, okay? So this is a beautiful, beautiful example of the model of this application. We have, this is to manage the inventory, and that's managing the invoices. And we will see in a minute. We're using the table of the user, and the user, it's a table we already, I intentionally write it this way. This is the user, it's really from Django. Django already made this table. We don't have to define it. We're only connecting to it. And how do we connect to a table of Django of the users? It's right here. By the way, you see it says setting that auth user model. It's a little it really is very sophisticated. It is really defined. If you see settings, if you look all the way up, it's a setting here. This is really referring to, in the Gamestore, we have settings. When you go to the base, you probably will find it there, okay? You see it's defined right here. You see that? It's a little tricky, it's very sophisticated, it's very advanced. It's really for more advanced sessions, for advanced certificate. You don't really need, usually as a machine learning, you don't have to deal with it. You just need to know it exists. It's a software engineer that does this kind of setup. So you can even ignore it, you don't really care. All what you care is that if you need that table, you can access it by adding this line here and just put it right in here as it is done. So here you're connecting to that table. How it's done in the setting, leave it to software engineers. If you take certificate 2 or 3 in software engineering, then we go and cover more topics. This is one of them. But for us as machine learning people, we don't really care. I just want to know how do I connect to the user. And this is the way we do it. And the way it looks here, it really is connecting from the shopping cart to the user primary key ID. Okay? That's summarizing the model. Draman, you need some time to go over it with the guy, or you want me to continue?
Hello?
Yeah. Can we continue, or you want to take a little break and go over that one more time?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I hear you, Draman, I hear you.
I think we can continue to finish, then I will go over it with maybe
Okay, wonderful. Very good. So let's continue. Now that we have the model, we are understanding the model. In fact, if we go back to the book, okay, we have all those examples here. The talk, by the way, you can read about it here. This is a beautiful chapter. One of the reasons I put this chapter is to see if you can handle reading a chapter. To be able to read the chapter, it's not an easy thing. Okay, explaining everything's here. It's beautifully explained, by the way. Okay, he explained about managers, okay, a little bit, okay, and what each one of them does. It's really very good reading, not easy, first time. It's the first time you're reading something like that. It's hard, but it's a beautiful chapter. You can learn a lot from it, okay? Beautiful chapter, beautiful. Okay, what we need to do is really make migrations and migrate. This is create the tables in our database. What I would like just to do, see, we download it from the internet, okay? And if you look at the migrations, this is really tables that they are downloaded. I can delete them. I would like to delete them, in fact, okay? Because it will create them automatically. That's one thing. But before I do that, before I run these, before I run make migration migrate, I would like to connect the applications to my project. My project is trade. We just copy this directory, which is an application, but it's not connected. And if you remember, there's two places we need to, in order to connect an application. Gamestore, in order to connect it, we have to go to two places. One is the base. If you remember, in the base, every application we use, it has to be here. This is our applications of Django. This one we used for pictures, if you remember. And those one we used for the main, to do, the billings. And we want to add another one now. We want to add another one to it. Is that right? Dot apps. That's exactly where we put the Gamestore. And here we want just to write Gamestore. Fair enough. Now, this is one place we need to connect it. There's another place we have to connect, which is in the URL. You recall. See, every application, man, in fact, the admin, if it's Django, this is Django's application. It's connected in the URL. So what I usually like to do is just copy the last one and just change the name. I call this one Gamestore. Okay, and call this one Gamestore. This way it will know how to go there. Gamestore. Now, the only thing is, I always like to check because I might get an error, which makes sense that I would get errors. But to go here and see what do I have here. What might cause me an error? Let's look at the view. In the view, it doesn't seem like I should get any error or something. But I will run it and see what happens. If I get an error, I'll fix it. And that's really part of life when you use application of someone else. So let's go and do Python. Like, in fact, what I'm running now, it is basically whatever it tells me in the book. This one will create the code to make tables, and this one will create the tables in the database. So here we go. I'm going to okay. Basically, it says Python manage .py run make migration and on it and see if I get an error. Hopefully not. Oh, I don't get an error, which is good. It's going to make all those tables. By the way, these tables are familiar to us. We have the game platform. This is all the tables we define in the model. See, this is all the one we define in the model. In fact, if you go now into the application, you go here, and you go to migration, you see there's a file here, a new one. If I double click on it, you will see this is SQL. You don't really have to learn SQL. It does it automatically. That's the beautiful things about Django. So now I need, and this is all the other tables, shopping cart, price list. He add another field to connect. This is for the connection, so he makes another for the phone key. And now I do migrate. Migrate actually, you know, let me show that to you. It's very important. Let me show you that PG admin. Remember this application? This application is really the database. He is in his book using a baby, I call it a baby database. It's usually generated file. This is a real database. I'm going to show you what it does. In a minute, it will open. Okay. Okay, I go into the database to remind you, if you look at the database, we have a trades, it's our database, and the database for now, we have billings program, we had the main, but we don't have Gamestore. You see, we have no tables here. Who will create those tables? And new tables that we made, it will be this command, migrate. Okay, let's see what happened. I'm going to run it. And here we go. It told me it created those tables in there. So let's look at it. Let's look at it if we did really these ones. Look at it. Let's refresh. Okay. Okay, let's do refresh. Refresh. Very good. Anybody see the tables, the new tables? Anybody? Oh, here it is. You see Gamestore? Gamestore? Gamestore, you see all those tables are from the Gamestore. They are here in the database. Okay, they are in the database. This is beautiful. So that's when it's being created. So now we have the tables. That's wonderful. Okay, that's wonderful. Let's try to run the application. Let's see if this is really going to work. Okay, we need to do other things. So let's see. Run server. It's not going to work. It will work, but we won't know how to exit. See, it works. Okay, but what this application does, we don't really know yet. And we have to explore. So we get, this is working, it's fine. The login we already have done. That's why we skip it in his book. We don't care. But we don't really have a game store here. We want to put a game store here. When we click here, when we click the beginning, we did login. We are in the main application. This is the main. You see, we are in the main. But in the main, we don't have game. We cannot go to this program. We cannot go to the main page. So we need to do something, and we learn how to do that. Okay, we learn how to do that. Okay, so let's go back. First of all, to the book. After we did this too, okay, look at that, create a price list data model. He explained about the data model. We already have done all of it, by the way. Read it, please do. Please do. And now this is really the interesting part. Okay, he tells me to make an index table, template. And he explained, he's using the main, but we're not going to use the main. We have our own. Okay, so this is his template, by the way. His template. Oh, now we can get totally confused. Why we get confused? His, you know, if we go scroll, this is a really hard exercise, very hard. Okay, this is why I'm helping you. Over time, you'll get better and better and better. This is beautiful exercise. It's very hard. This is his main function for the main page. And please look, he's doing some stuff, the index function. He's doing some stuff. We'll get to that in a minute. And then he's rendering his main index. Okay, so let's look at it. Let's look at it. What is that? So let's look at what he did. The beautiful part is to be able to have the skill to change it. So I'm going to close the model for now. I'm going to close this one. I'm going to close this one. I'm going to go to this one, the index. Let's look at the index. I'm going to go to the index. And the index is rendering, pay attention. Yeah, Draman, this is very important, pay attention. He wants, after we get to this one, he wants to send this template. Why does this template exist? As we did in our applications, under the Gamestore, we have templates. And we should have Gamestore. See, it works exactly like we did. And pay attention, he has best app. Oh, hold a second. He is putting best app, but we use slightly different. If you recall, if we go to billings, we go to the templates, we call it best the billings. So maybe we'll rename this one. Let's rename it. You know what, before we rename, let's see what he put there. Double click, he put certain stuff. Maybe we don't care about them. I don't know. You know, app, Gamestore. I tell you what I usually do. What I usually do when I do something like that, I don't touch it, but I don't use it. So I do refactor, rename, and change the name. I put underscore and later on, so it's really not going to be used. Okay? And I'm going to go and take the one from the billings, copy it, and copy it to here. Why? Because I know the billings works. And what I'm going to call this one, best, like to be consistent the way I work, not the way he wrote in the book. Game store. Okay? And now I have my own game store. And pay attention, game store, this one goes from the base of my application. So this is beautiful because this one, if you go here, this is this one from this project. So this should be okay. The only problem is, okay, how do I, okay, now I have nice, you know, you know, this is the best in the Gamestore, in the templates. Well, where did I put it? It's just that I didn't put it. Where did I put it, by the way? Anybody? I copied it to the wrong place, I think. Where did I put it? Anybody see it?
Yeah, go down. Yeah, Gamestore. What is Gamestore?
Yeah.
Yeah, down. Yeah, second one. Second file. Go out.
This one. But this one shouldn't be really here. It should be here. Yeah. Same place. In the templates, yeah. It should be the same place. Like in the billings. You see we have template, billings, all the templates. And then this one should be right under. So I put it in the same place. This one is not working because I just put underscore. So it doesn't exist anymore. This one exists. Very good. So one thing is, okay, when I'm in the Gamestore, this is going to be for the Gamestore, okay? So it's going, and here, so I can change this one, Gamestore. Just, so now here you see I'm modifying it. This one I probably will add, you know, we have also the billings, you know. Most likely when you are in the Gamestore, you might want to go to any one of the other. Yeah, but this is more detailed. This is less important for me. The billings, you know, and I can write here billings. This will be, I will have another link to billings. Is that right? By the way, I don't remember in the billings, do we have index or we have, what do we have there? We have billings, I think it's also, yeah, it's also index, so it's fine. So this one should work, okay? This is really for the, let me close this one. We don't need that anymore. Let me close this one as well. I'll get to those one later on. I will play with you. Okay. Okay. It's you look, it really is for this part. So when we go to the Gamestore, we'll see all the other ones. Okay, so that's why 1 second. Okay. Okay. This is why we're really adding the billings. So this is done. Okay. That one we'll deal with later on. Okay, when we get to the index itself. So let's look at his index file. This is his index file. If you double click, you see it's inheriting from the app, but we're not inheriting anymore from the app. We're inheriting from Gamestore. That's what we change. Gamestore. Okay, that's what we have, Gamestore. From this one we want to inherit. But we want to be careful. You know, it has a block, we called it header. How do we call it? We call it title. So we better go here and replace it. You see, everybody can put any blocks you want. You call it a header, we call it title. So we better, okay, put the right one that we want for ourselves. Okay, so we're gonna copy just whatever he wrote here. Let's put it here. Fair enough. So I'm moving this one and sorry, Control Z. And I just have to make sure that I use the same block here as I have in here. I have title. Okay, so I'm gonna put, it says home Gamestore. So it would say home store, but this is my index, remember. What else does it have? It has a lot of stuff, but the block is using, pay attention, the block, it says block body. Which kind of block we had? We have also black body, so there's no problem. Okay, pay attention, it's the same. It's happened that he's using the same type of black. You got it? You see the same thing. So everything's here should really work if everything else works. We'll see in a minute and see if it works. But at least it seems like we should be able to open the game store. But we didn't really add, we just changed the index, this one. Which one we really should change in order to see here Gamestore? Anybody? I have billing, but I want to add Gamestore. Which application is this one, by the way? You see, which application is this one? Which application is this one? This one is the main. This one is the main application. Let's go to the main application. Go to the main application. When we go to the main application, let's look at the base of the main application. We have to do, and the billings. What we really need to do now is to add the game store to there. So we want to write here game store. And we want it to go to the game store. And when it goes to the game store, you go to the index. Remind you, in the game store URL, when empty, it will go to the index, which is fine. That's exactly what we want him to do. And from here, it will go to here, which will render eventually this index template. So let's see what happened now. First of all, let's refresh. When we refresh, we got Gamestore. Why we got Gamestore here? Because this is the page of the main application. In the main application, we added this one. Adding this one added the Gamestore, so the link to the Gamestore, okay? And the main application, by the way, we have the index, the main one, the home, in fact, I think if I recall. I think it's home, it's called. We can remove all of that stuff. We don't really need these ones, you know. Let's take it away. It will look nicer. So you will be convinced that we are really in the main. Let me remove this one. I'll make a few more. Let's put H1, if you remember, main page of main app. And that's what we will see here. When we refresh now, you will see this is really what we will see. Okay, main page of main applications. And this one, we got the game store. If I click on the game store, we might get an error, most likely, but no, beautiful. Look at that. We have an empty page, nothing in it, okay? It's give me, I can go to the other application, the billings to do, I can go back to the main. From the main, I can go back to the game store. From the game store, I can go to the to-do. Remember that application? We played with it, okay? It might be nice, okay, that in here we do some other things. I put drawing, but it's just really like, you know, playing with it. But you can really remove it. This is what I did in my application. I don't know if you did it or not. But here, it really would be nice here to put a button that says go to main, okay? And that's I will leave to you. I don't remember. I think yours is already like that. But what really concerned me, it's most important from the main. I go to the game store. I am in the game store. I click, I get an empty page. Why am I getting empty page? Let's see. Why am I getting an empty page? Okay, this one already done. Okay, this one already done. And now we want to go to the index of the game store. Now we are really diving into the game store and we already know what's happening. Okay, game store is the index. So let's double click here. Just so you feel comfortable. Okay, don't be afraid. You have a copy. Don't be afraid. I'm going to write my name here. Okay? Going to do BR, just a few of those. Just to make sure that I'm not lost. I'm going to write Amos. I'm going to put a BR again. And let's see if I get this one. The reason I'm getting empty because this one doesn't do anything. This is what's supposed to work. Is that right? And just to be sure, I'm going to take this one and copy it in the end. That's what I usually do when I really work. Make sure that I'm not lost, because you can get lost easily. And here I will just write Baranis. Then I know that really the whole page was rendered. It's just this is the condition, you see? This is a condition. So maybe those conditions don't operate, therefore it doesn't do anything. And that's why I get an empty page. But now I put something that doesn't depend on anything. It should really show me those two. Otherwise, there is something that doesn't make sense. So I'm going to refresh the page. Oh, you see, I got Amos, I got Baranes. That means I am good. I am doing okay. I got to this part. I got to this part. That means that this condition probably does not hold. Okay? This condition is not holding. And then we need to explore what's going on and how to deal with it, etc., etc. But this is working. I'm happy. Okay? You know, if I were you, I would leave it even. I'll leave it until I really see this working and everything works fine. Then I just remove it. Then I know that everything works fine. For now, I'll even keep it just to make sure that I'm not lost. It's easy to get lost. Okay, let's see what it does here. It's a if highlighted game list. What does that mean? If I transfer that variable, and if I do transfer that variable, it's going to do this part. Otherwise, on here, if I have games list, if there is a game list, then it's going to do all of that. And there is one thing that I didn't teach you yet, and I will explain. It's called the include. It's a very interesting one, beautiful one, okay? And then it says, if show more link games, it will do that one as well, okay? It's a little higher level than I taught you, but that's the beauty of life. You should really handle everything. So let's look at it, okay? At least we know this page works. So let's go to the view. This is the view that does all the work. You see that? This is the view that really eventually rendering, this is the line that it's important, it's rendering this page. And it seems that this part highlighted is not giving me anything. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. Maybe it is really working. It just doesn't give me anything. So let's see how is this one is operating. How is this function? What does this function does? So let's look at it. Very, very important. First of all, it says max highlighted games, it's 3. You make a variable. Max game list is 9. Highlighted game list on. This is very important. If you notice here, it says game, object, get highlighted. Now it's the time to understand this one. Let's go back to the model. What is the model? In the model, if you recall, I talked about manager. Remember I talked about manager? Pay attention, there is a function called get highlighted. It is using it now within the view. He said, if you remember, look at the model. It takes the manager, this is called the manager, is putting it as part, is replacing the object. The objects becomes to be these. And this one has this special function. And this special function give me stuff that they are highlighted, and we'll get to that in a minute, don't worry. So the key point is I can use now nicely telling him, give me the list of only items that are highlighted. And then he makes another list all the one that are not highlighted. By the way, this is also a function here. Okay, you see, it has also a function get not highlighted. That's the same thing as filtering. So here is using those two functions. Okay, this one and this one. Okay, let's see more. Then what it does, show more link highlighted. And what it really does, this one would give me true or false. Please pay attention. It takes what it got in highlighted game list, which is this one. And this one has a function automatically in Django called count. If there are something, if I already put some information there, and it's more than 3, this is the number you put here, then this one will say 1, true. So this one will say true or false. Some things it does with this one. So now it makes sense to you. Show more links highlighted. Did I put games at all? I didn't put anything. So this is going to be false. This one also going to be false because I didn't put any games. So this is false. And those two, by the way, going in here, if you see it, those two going to the template. By the way, this is a dictionary. I have context, and he's putting this context going into the template. So when I go to the template now, oh, if this is true, no, this is not true, this is false. Okay? Is game list is true? No, it is false. That's why it doesn't do anything. Because I didn't put any items. I didn't put any items. So one more time, it's a little hard, but over time you will understand it. Here I'm getting all the items from the table that are highlighted. This is giving me the one that are not highlighted. But I didn't put any games. So this one will be really 0, and this one will be 0. So 0, when I count, I will have 0. It's not higher than 3. And this one is not higher than 9. So this is false and this is false. When I'm moving false and false into here, it goes to the template. I get to the template. Oh, this is true? No, it is not. It's false. It's 0 because we didn't got any items. So this one doesn't do it. It doesn't do anything. Same things for the other one. Do I have game list? No, I don't. So it will show me 0. So these two, no surprise, it doesn't generate anything. In a minute, we'll see how we can really generate something into it, okay? So this is really very important. We learn a little bit about managers, okay? We learn how to use them right here. We take from the objects, we use the function. We take the object. We have the objects here. We take another function from the manager. Then we check if it's higher than something. If this is higher than something. We created this one is true or false. This is false in the beginning. This is false. And how do we transfer these results to the template? We just make a dictionary. By the way, I could have just, by the way, you don't really have to do it this way. You can delete all of that. It's like the way I used to make it and I showed you. You can put the whole things just like that. It will work the same things. Nothing, it's the same things. Okay, no difference. In fact, I like the way you put it. Many times I worked the way you did it. In the class, I showed you to do it this way. Okay, you have a dictionary and you put the dictionary right here. Okay, same things, doesn't make any difference. Okay, I like the way you put it. In fact, I myself, in fact, do it the way you did it. Make a context, it's a dictionary, okay? And just transfer the dictionary in as a variable in Python, okay? Now, let's move on. Let's move on. Questions, Dharma, let me take a pause. I think I put a lot of things. What do you say, guys? Hello? Anybody home? Hello?
Yeah.
Are you guys doing good? Cassie, are you doing good? You're good, very good. Do, Dave, you doing good? What do you say, guys?
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Good. It's not easy, really, it's not easy. But when you get to this level, honestly, it's like you finish 3 courses in computer science, okay? And 3 hard courses. So doing it in the time we dedicated for it, it's just unbelievable, okay? So to be able to understand all of that in one time, this is really impressive, even I would say. So don't think that it is hard and it need more time to understand how it works. Okay. So okay, we now in the we are in the main page of the Gamestore, but we have nothing. Okay, we have nothing. What should we do? Let's continue. Read the book. Read the book. He talks about this one. He talks about this one. Read about it, please. He talks about importing the game, all of that, beautiful stuff. This is a very important, by the way, okay? It's just that it's already done for you. The media and all of that, you don't have to worry. It's already done. This one, if you look at the media route, this should be in the setting. Now be smart, okay? That's the other things. You're copying from his stuff. Not everything you need, okay? This one would be important that you add. Okay, let's see if you can handle it. I will do it for you, and let's see if you can handle it. And I will show you how I do it, okay? He does it one way, but you can, I just want to refer to this one. This one you don't need to do. Why you don't need to do? We always start with a platform that works. And honestly, it's the same as the one that I use in Academy City in all my consulting. When you go to the setting, you go to the base, you do Control F. Let's see if you find it. Maybe you don't. Oh yeah, you do. You see, I already set it up for you. The static, the media. So you don't really need to do this one. This part you don't need, it's already there. So don't touch it, okay? The other thing is, what is this one? I just want to remind you, if I want to see those tables, we made several tables. We have the price list, we have the game, we have game platform, and we have also the one for the invoices. We want to see it from within Django. What do I mean? Look at that one. I want to take this one. And if you recall, I told you the Django already come with a special. I go to admin. It will show me all the tables. Okay, what do I have? I have that authentication. I have billings. We did billings. And I have Gamestore. Do you see that? I have Gamestore. I have game platform. I have games. I have price list. I have shopping cart. How come it came out? Because they already have done the work for you. They done the work. Why did they do the work? Anybody? What is the work? It's in this file. You see this one? It tells you, please add those tables to those funds to the list in the admin. So those tables are there. So if I want to add games, I can go right here and I can add a new game. Let's add a game. But before games, what do we need to do? What comes before the games? I have to put platforms. Remember the link? This is the link. You have platforms and the games connected to the platform. So let's put platform first. Let's go to the platforms and add a game platform and write kits. Okay, I put a kids. Enter. Okay, I have one. Oh, by the way, you see the word kids? How does the computer use, why does it show me kids here? I show you why. I show you why. Because if you look at the model in the platform, you have this one. I'm going to add something so you can see, plus Amos. Okay, let's see what it would show me now. Let's see what it would show me now. Hey, what does it show me? Everybody see that? It's Amos. So what is really showing me here is taking from this function. So of course it's nonsense. I don't really need to put Amos here. It's kind of stupid. It's just for demonstration. So when I want to see the names of a specific one, is using this function. You can use this function for many ways. It's using this function here. If you see here, is using it, the platform name plus the name of the game. We'll see it in a minute, okay? So let's move on. I will just do one template. You will add like 2 or 3 or 5 templates. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna go back. I wanna go and add into the games, and I wanna add a new game. Anybody has a game in mind? How about we write games? Just to see in the internet, we find some games. Okay, play free games. Anybody familiar with any game? How about this one? Any game? How about this one? Let's play with this one. Anybody play games? I don't play games. That's the problem. What's the name of this game? I don't know. I just clicked it. Okay. So how about, I forgot what the name of this game. Screen. Hold a second. I just want to get the picture. And I can't get the picture. Hold a second. I know what to do. Games, images. Just get pictures of games. Okay. Not this one. Okay. Let's just make up for one of them. Find some images. Anybody familiar with those games? I'm not a good, what is this one? Let's call this one Star Wars, okay? So I just want to demonstrate how you do it. Save image as, I'm gonna save it somewhere. I'm gonna save it in downloads, and I'm gonna call it Star Wars. I'm just making it up. Okay? And I usually like to keep images as JPEG that take less space. Let's leave it this way, doesn't matter. Too small a size. Okay, I have this one. I have the image, okay? I just took an example I wanted to demonstrate. Let's call it Star Wars. Okay, release here, I just making it up. I will type 2001. Developer, let's say it's Amos Baranes. I'm just filling out. Remember, this is the stuff we put in the table. Published by Drummond Inc., a company. Okay, and choose a file. So here I can even choose the file. I will go to the Star Wars. I will go to tag it here. I'm putting up the data. Remember, we used it. Oh, which game platform does it belongs to? We have only kids. As you add more, this list, is it highlighted or not? Remember we added, so I say it is highlighted. Now I'm gonna save it. Okay. The Gamestore wall was added successfully. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, what did we do? We added data. Can I refresh this screen? Can I refresh this one? Let's see what happened. Oh, I got an arrow. This is good. Why is it good that I got an arrow? It means, first of all, it works. It means that this part, step number one, when I look at the index, remember, I only saw this one, this is work, this didn't work. That means that really the view everything is really working, but when I open the index, I get an error because it's using some library. By the way, let's look at that. Best game, and is using some library that it doesn't understand, and somewhere, okay? And it has some include, and this is the library it doesn't understand. When I go to the Gamestore, I get to the index, it says humanize is not a registered tag library. And I have no idea what he wants for my life. So what do you do in this case? You should know, but let's say you know nothing. So what do you go? You go to the Google. Okay? And let's see, what does it say? It's not a valid tag library, and you read about it, and you look at the answer. I usually sometimes write to the answers. Where's the answer? Here we go. So, Dango, not Django. Do you have, do you have these? I don't know if I have these. Or I don't know if I installed it even. So let's try, let's put it in. What the heck, what can happen? Let's go back, go to this page. Okay, this is inheriting from the base Gamestore. Let's go to the base Gamestore. Is it there? No, I don't see it. Is it in the base? Is it in the base? No, I don't see it. What should I do? I go back. I only use it in the Gamestore. So maybe I'll put it in the base. So how about we do that? Let's say it works. I don't know. Maybe. Go back. Go back. Refresh. No. It's not registered lab. One of those. So hello. We have a problem, don't we?
Hello, Amos.
Yes.
You need to go to the exercise. I think go to the Academy City, yeah. We have this. Go to Academy City on the exercise. I will show you.
The exercise. Okay, let's go to the exercise. Let's go to Academy City.
Academy City.
Here, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, see the first line, say add to the setting file. No.
Yeah, here it says, oh, wow. Look at that. Add the app. Okay, so what does it say? Add the app to the setting file. Also add the package. Django contributed to the setting. We will use it later. Oh, beautiful. See, I forgot what I did even. Raman. I would have got to that eventually. So where should I put it, Draman? Very good. I'm getting closer, you see. We did something like that. We had another library with the easy thumbnail, if you remember. So I wanted to go through the process and really review. You will get to that solution. Wonderful. But I probably wanted to make your life easier. So let's go back to here. Is that right, Draman?
Yeah.
Where should I go?
Yeah.
Right here. Is that right?
Yes.
Very good. So how about we go there and we go here and we have to add it because we need to use it. Otherwise, we get an error, and we did get an error. By the way, remember, that's the same things as we did with this one. With this one, We already also installed. This one, as I recall, it's come with Django already. You just can't use it unless you edit, okay? But this one we even installed, if you recall, from previous sessions. Let's go back and now let's see if it works. Okay, let's see, let's see, let's see. Why is it? Did I close it? Did I close it? Yeah, here we go. Let's refresh. What happened? It's restarting. It probably restarting. Yeah. Oh, but it says something here. It says no module named Django contribute. Ah, I forgot a comma here. See? Forgot a comma, so he made it like as one. So let's refresh it, let him cook. Oh, beautiful. This is like starting to look nice. Am I right? We're getting something. We have add cart. Oh, we don't need any more the Amos here. We can remove that. Let's go back to here. This one we don't need anymore. We did what we need to do. And the view, okay, for now, let's see. This one we don't need anymore. Mothers anymore. Let's look at this one. This one I don't need. Amos is unnecessary. It just is annoying. We know it works. We know this one is works, so we don't need it. We now know this is working. This is actually working. Let's see what works. Let's look at it. It says highlighted games. It put a little bit special things here. It should put a picture here, but it doesn't. But remember, we did put the picture. It's a released here, developer, Baranes, it's whatever, Amos Baranes, developer, publisher, Draman Corporation, price not available. Hey, this is what we'll deal with it in a minute. We'll deal with this number in a minute. But why don't I see the picture? But first of all, we really have to understand the code here. That's your job. What's happening in this code? See, it is highlighted, by the way. Is that right? It is highlighted because I marked it as highlighted, if you recall. Okay, so you start doing, and it says highlighted games. By the way, if you see, this is really, this is CSS. Okay, this one is making this nice little picture here on the left. Okay, it makes this picture, but there's so many in the internet you can use. Then it says highlighted game, and then it makes this square. Who does the square? That's the beautiful part. I use it a lot. It makes this part, by the way, let me remove this one so you can see. Okay, I'm going to remove this one so you can see what is going to go away. If I refresh, the whole thing went away. So the code that makes this box, it's right the place that I deleted. Okay, let's put it back. So what does it do? It makes a body panel. By the way, this is a nice style to make it square, nice square. And here, this is spatial. This is, I didn't teach you, and I'm gonna teach you now. So he's going to go over the list. For now, we have only one game. If I have 2 games, 3 games, you will have to go through this, making that structure over and over and over. Instead of that, you say, okay, let's put the code somewhere. Every time you need it, it will do it. So let's look at that. It says Gamestore, game list, HTML. And in fact, if you go to the Gamestore, under the Gamestore, you will have this template. It says game list. Where is it? Where is this one? Gamestore include Gamestore HTML. Anybody see it? Here it is, okay? That's what it's inside. This one is really is the template. That's what it does. And very simple. It gets a list of game lists, and over every game is doing all of that. So one more time. What it does is said, you know, you in this one, make me all that games or all that list and bring it back to me and put it here. Put it where I marked in blue, okay? But I'm transferring to you a variable called game list. And the variable game list, it is really what I got the list of the games. And highlight games, it is true, okay? That means do that list for only the one that the highlighted games is true. So when I go to this template, what it does here, it says for game in game list, if game dot highlighted and highlighted games, then do that. Otherwise, do that. And I won't go over all of that. It really is for other courses, for a certificate 2 in software engineering. That's what we teach the JavaScript more detail. I don't ask you to know that, okay? It's really for software engineering, but it's a beautiful way. See, it's very smart the way he designed it. He made in the index, he made the include only for the list that the highlight is true. And then he used the same template again here for the game list. These one are not highlighted, but he used the same template, so he doesn't have to repeat himself. And then he says highlight false. So this is really for the one that are highlighted, and this one is for the one that are not highlighted. And I invite you, I encourage you even, try to go over it, okay? This is beautiful stuff. So the bottom line is, if it's highlighted, it's gonna make the div, this what I use it all the time, these kind of tricks, okay? This div, okay? By the way, I use it even in language. Is it Arabic, French, English? All of those stuff are software engineering. It's not machine learning per se, okay? So I encourage you even to take the course of certificate 2 on machine learning you're taking, but in software engineering when you have time. It's a lot of work. But that's what you study in JavaScript combination with Python. In any way, in fact, this one I should really say it's Ginger. It's another language. In any case, this is only what it does. If you see it's the game name, it gives you the release year, all the stuff. The only thing is really a problem we have. We don't get the, this is the price, but what is the image? Anybody sees the image here? I don't see the image. Anybody? Oh, here we go. We see the image here. Everybody see that? And the image is not working for some reason. Is that right? This is really what it's supposed to be, the image. If we go here, the image is not working. Let's refresh. We see everything. There's no image here. You see that? You should be able to fix it. Why should you be able to fix it? What did we use? Why did we use images? How about we go to the main? How about the main? Let's go back to the main. We don't have a picture here. The billings, we have a picture in the billings. No, we have. Why do we have a picture? Do you remember? I forgot. Rahman, you remember when we had a picture? We used picture. I taught you.
I think you need to go to static.
To where?
Static.
No, I know. But we use in which application we use the picture that I put? Here, in this one. And to do. Here we have a picture here, don't we? It's very similar. It's exactly similar. As we did here, copy from yourself. You can't remember everything. So here we go. Let's go to the to-do and see what we did here. Let's go to the to-do and copy from yourself. This one, okay, it's not working. I'm not gonna break my head too much. I wanna change it. I'm gonna change it in the way I already know how to do. And the way I know it works beautifully. So I'm going to the to-do application. The to-do application, I have the index, and I think it's in the index. And let's see what we have here. First of all, look, load thumbnail. Remember, we needed that? Remember that? So I'm gonna go to the index in the Gamestore. Go all the way up. I'm gonna put this one here so I know it will work for me, okay? Moreover, I'm going back to the index. What else? Oh, here is the image. Look at that. No, not this one I want this one. Remember, we're flipping and we're putting this one. So I'm gonna copy this part and I'm gonna go to the, what is it, Gamestore index. And what is the part that didn't work? The picture didn't work. Was in here, wasn't it? Yeah. Let's put this one, by the way. You can mark it so you don't delete it really. This one you will ignore, Control/. I'm putting this one and let's see what's gonna happen. What do I really want to do? It's not really a team member. I really want to use the game because the game is really what I have the image. So I'm changing this one accordingly. Now the image, which size you want, height and width, 100 by 100. So look, 100 by 100. Crop as GI and put the image there. And that's the way I'm really doing here. Let's see if it works. Maybe, maybe not. God knows. Let's go back to the main. Let's go back to the Gamestore. Oh, I got an error. Why do I got an error? Line 17. Let's go back to line 17. Here we go. We got an error here. We did put, no, thumbnail I need. And thumbnail I didn't put here. Why did I put it? In the base. No. Why did I put it, by the way, anybody? This one I needed. And I should have put it in here, isn't it? Yeah, I did. This is fine. Control V. It is not in here. So let's put it here too. Let's see if it works now. Yeah, here we go. Beautiful.